está Rachel caminando, tú sabes, la que no tiene pijama.
Sorry.
Siempre. There's always that one that doesn't follow.
Ahora vamos al Q&A de... Ay, Dios mío.
Niggas on a Teenage Warhead.
Exacto, pero ¿cómo se llama ella?
Niggas on a Teenage Warhead.
Pero ¿cómo se llama ella? Like real life.
Niggas on a Teenage Warhead.
Oh my god. ¿Y ahora?
Para la derecha, a la derecha. Para la derecha.
Okay. I was like, I'm auditioning for a character named Kathy. Like, why? But yeah, so I went in once. I went in with a casting director who taped me, and I went probably like 2 weeks without hearing anything, and then I got a call back. So I ended up going in again, and this time Tim Miller was there, Ryan was there, everybody was there. I just walked in and was like, hey, it's a party. And I auditioned again, and that was essentially it. From then, they let me know that they liked me and sent me dates, and it was on a roll.
I mean, that's nerve-wracking. You go in without knowing nothing, and then 2 weeks later, without no calls, and go in, and there's your crush, Ryan Reynolds, and the director, and everybody. Like, say, it's a party. How different was that from the first audition with having everybody like, you know, a crowd now, and your crush? Yeah. That's like nerve-wracking.
Your crush.
It was nerve-wracking. Yeah, the cool thing about Negasonic is that she makes me channel this like inner angst that I used to have in high school. And so when I channel it doesn't really matter if Ryan's around, you know? Like if I'm just me, I'm like, Ryan, what are you doing? But if I'm channeling it, I'm like, why is he here? You know? So it was pressure. It was pressure, but I don't know. I had rehearsed the scenes too, you know. It wasn't like they were acting me to improv. So.
And I don't remember reading about that. I don't remember reading about that time, but when you got the gig, could you tell your family and everybody? Because you know sometimes you get the gig, but you can't tell until like 4 months later when you're done shooting.
Yeah, I couldn't tell anybody. I told my acting teacher and I told my dad. That's the first thing I did. I got in the car and I called my dad and I was like, Dad, guess what? So excited. But yeah, no, it was under wraps for a couple months. I had just gotten off the plane there in Vancouver to film, and I had gotten a Google alert that like Deadpool had been announced and that I was announced in it, and then I was stoked. Then I could tell whoever I wanted to tell.
Yeah, because that has to be like, Jesus, you got a big role starting out, and then you can tell anybody.
Yeah, I was just like smiling at all of my friends.
Yeah.
Like,
where are you up to? And you're like, I don't know.
My life's great right now.
Yeah, it's better than yours. Yeah.
All those superhero things. And stunts were really cool. Like when we got there and we were filming, stunts were cool. They put me on, they had this stunt room with like mats. It was essentially like when you go to like a gymnastics place as a kid for a birthday party and you can just jump around on all the squishy stuff. That was cool. But the majority of my stunts I did not do, which is mostly a liability thing, especially because it was my first time filming. A lot of them just legally don't want to risk an actor breaking a leg, because then what are you going to do? Shoot him from the waist up for the rest of the movie, right? That's a little crazy. So yeah, but I would have loved to have done more of my stunts. Actually, my stunt double was really cool. She was the best, so. I felt bad. She had to shave her head. Like
do you, when you, in acting, besides talking about Deadpool, when you are looking for roles or are receiving like, scripts and stuff, do you prefer roles that are more in the dramatic sense, more psychological, or do you prefer like, action, physical?
It depends. Action movies are super fun to film. They're like way high energy. But I personally really love watching dramas. So when I get a drama in, I always get super excited about it. Also just because I enjoy character work. It's less about the script for me, more about the character I'm playing and if I can relate to them and if I can feel like I can make them come to life type thing.
What have you been doing since I know you mentioned something, but since the first of all, how did you react when you saw that Deadpool was a surprise hit in the box office and in the critical reaction around the world with the fans? It was one of the biggest movies of that year. How I mean, you like through the roof, right?
It was great. I think we all had a feeling that it was going to be great. You know,
awesome.
right away, I was like, and then she'd look away again. It just was like so nerve-wracking. But I would really love to work with her. Goals. I love Julianne Moore.
Yes.
Some of my favorite movies are like independent dramas, so a little on the weird side. One of my favorite movies is Like Crazy.
Yeah.
Man, I love August Osage County, Meryl's in it. We watched Mamma Mia last night, you guys, and I was lit. Oh my god. Like, you should have seen me, and you should have seen us in the hotel room. We were like getting it. That's a
They just announced the second one, yeah?
Yeah.
Mamma Mia too.
I know, yeah.
Maybe you can get in there. Singing.
That would be amazing.
Get on it, Hollywood. Come on.
Yeah.
Make it happen. What directors you love to work with? You know, like maybe Martin Scorsese or Quentin Tarantino or something like that. Which are your favorite directors right now?
I think I'd love to work with someone like Tim Burton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that would be really interesting. Man, I don't know. I'm trying to think of more now. I'd love to work with Tim again, just because he's hilarious.
Have you you mentioned it? Have you met the director for the sequel? I think
Yes.
it's David Leitch, right?
Yeah.
Is he a nice guy?
Yeah, he's great.
Different personality team.
I mean, he is a different personality. He's a different person.
ways of doing things.
But he's not blunt. He's more, I don't know. He's really funny. He's more of like a bro. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Like I can do this to him, and he'll be like, but no, he's really cool. He's awesome. I met him for like my costume fitting and stuff like that, and yeah, it was really fun.
So there you have it. Get to know her a little bit. I don't hear you. Come on.